Hello, in this video we're going to have a look at the COSHH assessments in Health and Safety Xpert. To get into your COSHH assessments, from the project screen, click on the COSHH Assessments tab. Similar to the risk assessments, this is a list of COSHH which are related either to the project type that you selected when you started your job, or related to the types of build phases which have been imported from an Estimator Express job. Again, this gives you quite a substantial list. A lot of these are very generic and the sort of things that you would probably need on most jobs, things like hand cleansers, etc. But a lot of these materials are quite specific. You will see that there are some unbranded COSHHs in here, and we've also added in some branded COSHHs as well. Also notable is that on the Add button on the right hand side are all the COSHHs that we have not automatically added into the list. These are for products that we don't think are particularly relevant to the type of job, but of course there's always a possibility that you may be including them. So again, it is always worthwhile having a quick review of the COSHHs that we have not included automatically. And again, same as the risk assessments, you would give this list a browse to make sure you're aware of which ones you want to include or you don't want to use. And again, you would then choose on either the print or the export button. And then you would go through, select the ones that you want, and then export or print. Again, you can do all of these in one go, or you can do 10 at a time or 1 at a time, whichever suits you. Again, as per the risk assessments, you can edit the COSHH. And this is simply a case of going through each tab and adding in any extra text that you want to. When you click on Save As, this will create a new version of the COSHH, and again, in the same way that you do with the risk assessments, it will give you an option to leave the original COSHH as a default, to set your new COSHH as a default, or to use both. Select whichever is relevant and click OK. You can also create your own COSHH assessments. This is handy if you do need to make some very specific products. There are an almost infinite amount of products out there. In theory, every single product that you buy will have a safety data sheet of some sort. This means it's not possible for HBXL to create a COSHH for every product that's on the market. Some health and safety visitors are very finicky about requiring product-specific COSHHs and are not accepting of the generic ones. If you know that that is relevant to whoever does your local visits, then you may have to take either some of our existing ones and edit them, or you might want to create some of your own. To create your own new COSHHs, click on the New button. Once again, you can then fill this in. Etc. And you would run through the process. If you've got the safety data sheet online from a manufacturer's site, you could possibly even copy and paste some of the paragraphs into here. And once you've filled it in, save as, and of course it will give it a new name. One of the things that we do have in here are COSHHs for items that you cannot actually buy. You'll see certain risk assessments for things such as hardwood dust, brick dust, exhaust gases, etc. So these are substances that occur during the building process, so we've created those COSHHs for you. Other high-risk items, things like mineral fibres, pesticides and fungicides, pigeon droppings if you're working on lofts. So do remember to take into account things that you may come across in a job. Particularly high-risk jobs are renovations. When you are stripping down an existing building, remember there will be items in there that could have been put in tens or even hundreds of years ago. Obviously you need to look out for things such as asbestos, mineral fibres, pigeon droppings, very high risk, etc. Remember that if you're doing a strip out on buildings which use Artex ceilings, for example, that used to have a high asbestos count, and you would need to make sure you used your asbestos risk assessments and COSHHs and take the applicable action. And that's it for the COSHH section.